Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and this is the DPA News. And this is a new channel, so do subscribe in case you didn't realize this is a new channel. So yeah, yes, another channel. So anyway, a major breaking news that sends shockwave across the world and threatens to plunge the entire of this Middle East into World War III. So yeah, in a major regional war, which personally I do not think is going to happen. But I'm going to go through some of these major events. So we'll be covering the Hezbollah top commander Fuad Shukr that has been killed in the Israeli airstrike on Beirut. The Israeli also launched an airstrike in Tehran, killing Hamas top political leader Ismail Haniyeh. We're going to look at the Israeli defense minister's statement, the Lebanon reaction to the Beirut strike, because don't forget, Hezbollah is not the government of Lebanon. Lebanon have its own secular government, and they are hostage to the Hezbollah, essentially, and so they will have their own statements. Iran's reaction to the Tehran strike, as well as, of course, Palestinian leaders. Mahmoud Abbas' reaction, as well as the PLO's reaction, and also the Americans' reaction to this escalation of violence by the Israeli side. So we go to the first one. It's going to be the Hezbollah leader, one of these senior commanders getting strike. So Fuad Shukr, he's actually, let me see if I can zoom in. But it's not pretty when I zoom in. Okay, okay, so I got to zoom in. Let me see how I can do this. Nandeska. Okay. So desu ne. Okay, so maybe like this. So then I move my mic. Okay, so you probably can see better now. In case you are trying to see. So the strike. So Shukr is actually also known as Al-Hajj Mohsen. He's born in eastern Lebanon. He's one of the founders for Hezbollah after the Israeli invasion into Lebanon in 1982. So the Shukr then rise up the ranks and of course then oversaw numerous attacks against Israeli military and the South Lebanon army, which I don't think exists anymore. I'm not sure. I'm not very good in Lebanese history. I will read more about it, but I don't think it exists anymore. So anyway, so Shukr is also wanted by the United States, and looks like somehow he got discovered, or Israel has been holding back on striking him until recent events. So basically, the Israelis say that they carry out a precision strike on Beirut, and this is in retaliation for a missile strike that killed 12 children playing in a football field at Majdal Shams in the occupied Golan Heights. When this strike happened, Netanyahu is not in Israel, and he actually flew back early from United States, and maybe this is his decision, to finally take out some leaders of Hezbollah. I'm quite sure the Israeli intelligence has already have him, in their sights, know where he is all this time. But it's just that Israel, maybe did not want to strike him because they do not want an escalation with Hezbollah. Why not? So Hezbollah, also, so made a statement saying that their great jihadist commander brother Fuad Shukr Hajj Mohsen was present in the building targeted by the Zionist enemy. So they say that Shukr's presence is a distinctive force for resistance, and their leader Hassan Nasrallah will make an address on the Shukr's funeral. I thought that is a bit dangerous to do. To show up, for the funeral feels a bit dangerous. When Israel is now not giving much of a damn anymore about what you think. So the other strike is actually in Tehran, which is even more amazing because they're so far away from Israel, and it may have It's unsure. There was previously there was a strike that was close to the nuclear facility, and who knows, that might be just a test run for the Israeli to conduct such a strike. And and the Israeli now shows that it clearly is able to launch an airstrike deep into Iran, and the Iranian air defense can't do shit about it. And this must be alarming to the Iranian army and military, and their air force was not even reacting. So the pre-dawn strike basically happened on the Iranian capital, and then they killed Ismail Haniyeh as well as his bodyguards. So this comes after Haniyeh was attending the inauguration of the Iran's new president in Tehran, and so it's a shocking development. So the thing about Ismail Haniyeh is that he has always been pretty safe because he's actually protected by the Qataris. But I'm not sure if I have mentioned to you guys before in previous reports when I was talking about when October 7 happened and whatnot. He is safe in Qatar because the United States protects Qatar, and clearly United States will not allow their minions to fight each other. So Israel cannot strike Qatar, essentially by decree, probably from the United States. But the thing is, now he left Qatar to fly to Iran. That's basically creating a death sentence for himself. So this is unfortunate for him. But I don't think it does anything to the Hamas operations and whatnot, because I think Hamas generally is very, very loose. It's a very, very loose organization. Very, very loose. They have very, very loose orders. They will just continue to do whatever they're going to do, and it doesn't matter who is the leadership. One killed, another will replace. I don't think it changes anything, especially if, let's say, if you believe it in the sense that it's a Iranian proxy, then the Iranians will just assign someone else and give the instructions and give the orders. As long as the person can follow the orders, things get solved. Or Iran get what they want, and Hamas will continue to operate. So it doesn't really matter. So but this guy, he said a lot of things. So Israel want him dead. So the Israeli themselves made a statement. So this statement is actually on the Shukr strike on Beirut. So I haven't seen the statement on Israel on the Hamas leader one. So I can search for it later. So anyway, Shukr talks about this sorry, not Shukr. Yoav Gallant, this is the defense minister. I probably slaughtered his name. Say that Shukr has the blood of many Israeli in his hands, and he has now shown that the blood of their people has a price, and there is no place out of reach for their forces to this end. Although it's interesting that the strike is only in Lebanon, it's just next door. There's no place out of reach of their forces to this end probably applies better for the strike on the Haniyeh one, the Hamas leader one. So this marks the killing of the most senior Hezbollah commander in these 10 months of fighting since October 7th. And so this strike also came slightly before the strike on Ismail Haniyeh. So which means that the strike on Beirut is actually in the middle of the night, and then Israel and then the strike in Tehran is in the early hours. So this actually is their statement. Lebanon, of course, is paranoid and super worried because they don't really want war. Lebanon is in deep economic problems, political problems, and they're basically living under the threat of a knife on their neck with Hezbollah. Basically have tremendous influence on everything. So the cabinet actually have an emergency meeting in the morning and discuss the strike in Beirut, and then they issued a statement through the information minister Ziad Makari, which is this guy, this handsome guy. So the Makari condemned the strike, saying the retaliation by Hezbollah was anticipated. So they are really quite sure that Hezbollah is going to react. And the government is worried that the situation will spiral out of control because Lebanon do not want war, and they hope that he said that the government will engage in diplomatic efforts to calm tensions. So probably between Hezbollah and Israel, to prevent Israel from launching a general offensive into Lebanon. Then there will be a lot of suffering in Lebanon. So they don't really want that. The Lebanon foreign minister Abdallah Habib told Reuters that he did not expect them to hit Beirut, but he hit Beirut anyway. So he hoped that the Hezbollah response would not trigger an escalation. So they already know Hezbollah is going to react. So this kind of like a tick for tack, and then tic-tac-toe. Then after that, 4D chess, they will just kill each other. And yeah, it will never end, unfortunately. So Iran's reaction to the Tehran strike is so we now talk about the Tehran strike reaction. So Iran reacted, and the political bureau chief Ismail Haniyeh, the permanent mission of Iran to UN say that there will be a response to the assassination, which will be special operations, harder and intended to instill deep regret in the perpetrator, which is Israel. So which is probably more or less what I expect, because Iran will not go to war with Israel over Palestine. There's no reason to do that. They will not let Iranians die for Palestinians, generally speaking. But they have to do something because now their pride is tarnished, then the prestige is damaged. So Iran must revenge. And so how would they revenge? My own guess is yet another barrage of rocket strikes. Yeah, that's probably it. So I don't think Iran were going to do more. I don't expect Iran to do some special military operation, and like Russia going to Ukraine kind of situation. I don't think so. But I'm quite sure a barrage or two, maybe 3 nights of barrage might be possible. So, and the foreign ministry spokesperson says that an investigation to the details of this incident is currently underway. And the leader of the Islamic Revolution, the Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei, said in a statement that avenging the martyrdom of Haniyeh, which happened in Iran's territory, is a duty. So basically, the religious leader, the supreme leader, has said that they must avenge. So now the government, with this new president, have no choice but to act, but to follow the orders of this supreme leader. Very, very North Korean style. But like I said, Iran is going to do very little. None of the other countries is going to revenge for Palestine or for Hamas, because none of these countries actually wants Hamas to exist. Because Hamas is generally a militant group. No countries want militant groups in their country. So, except for Iran, because the militant group is not surrounding Iran, So Iran is funding and supporting these militant groups. So, the most we're going to find is this Iranian proxy will be reacting. Hamas can't do much. They already the under fire and totally in prone position right now. Hezbollah will react. Houthis, maybe. But Houthis can't really do much more than what they have already done, because ultimately they are a bit far. Houthis' job is to pin down Saudi Arabia. Hezbollah's job is to pin down Lebanon and Israel. And Hamas is to keep Israel busy. So, and Hezbollah is also to influence in Syria, to put Iranian presence in Syria. So the different H, the triple H, each H have their own job. So yeah, that's what it is. So anyway, after the Iranian reaction, we look at the Palestinian Authority's reaction. So this is Mahmoud Abbas. So the Palestinian Authority leader condemns the killing of the Hamas terror chief. Which article is this? Newsmax. Okay, no wonder they call it the terror chief. Ismail Haniyeh, calling this a cowardly act and a dangerous development. Why is it a cowardly act? It's more cowardly for him to hide in Qatar. He should be in Gaza and fight in person. That's heroic. The hiding in Qatar that's cowardly. Israel risk war with Iran. How is that cowardly? I have no idea. Whatever it is, Abbas called on the Palestinian people to unite and be patient and steadfast in the face of Israeli occupation. Basically, says nothing. Basically says nothing. So the same thing, the Secretary General of the PLO Executive Committee basically also denounced the killing and said basically the same thing. So they denounce and condemn, and then they also talk about steadfast in the face of reaction of occupation and achieve unity of the Palestinian forces and factions. So generally, these are just, in Chinese we call it 客气话. It's basically words of courtesy. They are just being courteous. They don't care. They probably celebrate that their political opponents or even the regime opponents have one of their leaders dying. So you have to understand, the Palestinian Authority have no power in Gaza. Gaza essentially, since the Hamas take over, has been a kingdom on their own. Basically, Gaza is a kingdom. If it's up to me, I would call it the Kingdom of Gaza. So just that this kingdom is ruled by Hamas, and then Hamas don't really have a king per se properly, and their king is also not in Gaza, so it's not even here. So it's like a small little country, and then the rest of Palestine, or the rest of this very messy frontline border, which I can't even draw it out because it's so complicated. The rest of Palestine is under the Palestinian Authority. That's Palestine. Gaza generally is no longer Palestine per se, because they're under Hamas. Basically the Hamas Republic of Gaza, in a way. It's not really, they rule, they run differently, they rule differently, they have different rulers, different organization, and they also kind of like being treated very differently also by the Israelis. So Gaza is surrounded and sieged all the time, whereas West Bank is a bit freer, not as free as it can be, but I think it's better than in Gaza. But of course, inside Gaza they have freedom within Gaza, so that is freer than in West Bank. So it depends on what kind of level of freedom you want, but not like the Palestinians have a choice. So the situation is as such, and yeah, I don't think the PA leaders, yeah, I think they are really happy with all these developments, weakening Israel, weakening Gaza, Hamas. It all plays into their plans and preference. And for the United States, the defense secretary was being questioned whether there will be a surge in the attack on the American troops, even though it really has not a lot to do with the Americans. Lloyd Austin, the defense secretary, said that he does not expect the Iran-backed militias to step up attack against the United States in Iraq or Syria as per in the past. So he said that, I think quite frankly, I don't see a return to where we were several months ago. Not yet. So not yet. So there might be a possibility, but not yet. So some additional information was that the US troops was attacked 160 times since October 7th in Iraq, Syria, and Jordan, with rockets and drones, whereas the US have mounted several retaliatory attack, generally airstrikes. So the deadliest was 3 US soldiers died by the Iranian made drone in Jordan. So, but generally nowadays there hasn't been much attacks. So that's pretty much about it. Last week there were some rockets launched towards the Iraq's Ain al-Assad air base, but none of them hit the base. So yeah. So the United States is not very worried. Generally speaking, these militia groups can't really do much to the Americans per se, because the Americans are just too powerful. They can of course bombard it, just like we are doing on Israel, but it's not going to eject the Americans out. But things of course is getting more and more tense. So it is what it is. So anyway, this is the headlines for the Israelis' attempt at revenge, which will then get more revenge, and then Israel will revenge the revenge. So yeah, thank you for watching. Press the like button, subscribe. Like I said, this is DPA News. This is the new channel because I want to collect I want the new channel to collect subscribers that are interested in geopolitics and news and current affairs. So yeah, if not, no, yeah, algorithm issue. I don't want to bore you with it, and I'll see you guys in the next update.